If you can't go left, you can always try right. If you can't go right, you can always try forward. But no matter what you do, we'll always create a memory because you are special.
Hello, and welcome to RBV, the Milestone Whisperers. Welcome back to another episode where we discuss milestones and the journeys to get to them. And today's milestone is several in one because October is a huge month for me. So October is PT month. So I'm a PT, so I celebrate PT month all month. But also, I got my first PT license in October in 2008. So I just celebrated 17 years of being a physical therapist. But the ironic thing is that 2 years after I became a physical therapist, I had my first child. So October is also the month that I celebrate entering motherhood. And it's interesting because all through like PT school, my sisters had children. Well, one of them had children. And even like my first like year of working, I didn't think that I wanted to be a mom, which is crazy because I love motherhood. And it's even more crazy because on my oldest son's birthday is the same date that my PT license was issued, just 2 years difference. So that date is significant to me in more ways than one. I tend to get really emotional on his birthday because when I found out that I was pregnant with him, I was so happy, and I just was like, I can't believe I'm carrying a life. It's just so nuts how I went from not knowing if I wanted to be a mom. I really enjoyed being an aunt though, to loving motherhood. So yeah, so I'm just gonna take a little walk down memory lane. When I first became a mom, my husband and I were not married. We actually lived separate during my whole pregnancy. And during the pregnancy, we decided to buy a house together. So um, it was a lot, So finding a house took some time. We closed on the house the end of September of 2010. And we were going to take our time to move in because I was actually due the very beginning of November, which actually was my sister's birthday, was my due date. But my son wanted to come 3 weeks early. So I had him at 37 weeks, 37 weeks and 3 days. And he was a little peanut, 5 pounds, 5 ounces, a little teeny thing. And I just fell in love with him instantly. I mean, I was in love with him like while he was in utero, but like just instantly fell in love with him. And he's 15 now. So I love motherhood. He holds a special place because he's my first child, but also like I went through that pregnancy living on my own. So like I said, my husband and we were dating. We ended up buying a house together, but we weren't married. So like a lot of that time in my pregnancy, I spent time by myself in my apartment. I had horrible, horrible morning sickness. Up until like the second trimester, I started to feel better, and this kid had me loving Chinese food. And actually, we had Chinese food tonight. He don't really like Chinese food though, which is funny because my other children love Chinese food, but he doesn't really like Chinese food. But I crave Chinese food when I was able to keep food down with him. So yeah, motherhood. I love being a mom because I learned so much about myself. I reflect on when I was a child, especially now that he's in high school. It's so funny because the back to school night in our school district, they have you follow your child's daily schedule. And you only get 3 minutes between classes. And I mean, I remember high school wasn't that long ago for me, but man, 3 minutes between classes, and sometimes they're far away. So I'm like, no wonder I get alerts that he's late sometime because, man, going from one end of the school to the other. And the crazy thing is that, like, in schools now, they don't even carry textbooks. So I remember lugging around like a big, huge book bag with all my textbooks. Um, they, excuse me, they carry a notebook and their Chromebook. That's it. But some of his teachers this year I like because, well, I like all his teachers, don't get me wrong. But some of them are old school and they have them like really take notes and write things, especially his biology teacher, which my undergrad is a BS in biology. So I just love the fact that his biology teacher is like, y'all gotta write out your lab reports and y'all gotta, write things out and don't, you know, rely on the computer. Like that's not her thing. Like busy work on the computer is not her thing. So I love that about her. And he's doing good, so good this year so far. It's an adjustment because he has to get up a lot earlier. He catches the school bus, but he's been catching the school bus since middle school. So he does understand like the bus stop and getting up, but he has to leave out like 6:40 in the morning. Excuse me, which is early. But he's doing so good. He has good grades, A's and B's so far this school year. The marking period is over, I think Wednesday this week, so that is good. But I have a 15-year-old, y'all, and next year he's gonna be driving. I can't believe it. It's just like nostalgia because I don't know. I think I mentioned it in another episode before that when I was in high school, I used to journal. That was my thing. I journaled so much, and so having a child that's in high school, I'm like, I wonder, because he's a male child, so I know things are different for him. Puberty and things is different through his lens versus through my lens as a woman, and even as a teenage girl. When I read my old journal, but I'm just like, wow, my baby that was 5 pounds 5 ounces, now he is like an athlete, football, muscular. He hugs my head because he's taller, like a good amount taller than me, but he's still my baby. He would curl up in the bed with me, and he would just still cuddle with me just like he did when he was a baby. And then he asked me for money or to buy him something. But he was meant to be the oldest because he is a great big brother. He's a great big brother, and he looks out for all of us. And it's not like we put a lot of responsibility on him being the oldest, but he is always conscious of like, well, did y'all eat? What's for dinner? And he's like, he was meant to be the oldest. He's responsible, he's respectful, and I love him so much. I love my other children too. They all are just, they're my reasons, they are, each of them. But since October is such a huge month for me, I decided to highlight these milestones. So I became a PT in 2008, became a mom in 2010. And last year, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well. So you see, got the pink headband on to represent. Last year, I had my first mammogram. Even though I'm 46 and you're supposed to get it when you turn 40, it took me a while to get it, but I just want to remind women out there that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well. So get your mammograms, get your annual checkups, and just make sure that your health is in order. So I'm due to get mine in November. And last year when I got my mammogram, I had to get an ultrasound, a follow-up ultrasound, because I have very dense breast tissue. So that was scary because it's like, okay, I had to conjure up the courage to even go and get a mammogram. And then I have to get a follow-up test for that, but that was fine. You know, it was nothing alarming on there, but I'm glad that my doctor was very cautious and just made sure to cover all bases, make sure that I was okay because I do have that dense breast tissue. So I'm most likely going to have to get the ultrasound after I get the mammogram this year as well. But that's just something that I expect. Um, so what else has been going on? Because I feel like it's been a while since I did a podcast episode, and it's basically just life has been busy. I mean, I have the one child that's in high school. Then I have my younger son. He started middle school. Both of them play for two football teams. So the one that's in high school, he plays for he does varsity and junior varsity. So it's the same school, but it's practices on the same days, but it's two separate games a week. That's a lot. And then my one that's in middle school, he plays with the team that's in the middle school, and then he plays for an outside team that he's been playing for this is his fourth season. So that's busy. And then my daughter does cheer. So she's a cheerleader. And she's on two different cheer squads, which one of them is for football. So she's doing like the football season. Then the other one is for basketball. So that one just started, but it's still just splitting the time, just trying to figure that out. That's a lot. And she still does mixed martial arts. So the boys paused mixed martial arts. But my daughter still does that. So she's busy as well. And she started taking cello lessons. So imagine that. Like when we're trying to just chill and we hear like the sound of the cello. But I just love that she's like just a creative. She's very like artsy, and she just likes to express herself like artistically. So I love that she's into the instruments. It takes a lot of dedication to learn how to play an instrument. I took piano lessons for like a month when I was younger, and that was it. But my brother is a saxophonist. Well, that's his primary instrument. He started off taking violin lessons, ironically, and that's what my daughter wanted to take. But I guess I filled out the form too late because all the violins were taken, so I had to get her a cello, which I rented the cello. I didn't buy it. But yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, and my brother is like a really good saxophonist. He does jazz, mainly. So he composes music. He's gifted, really is. So maybe my daughter picked that up from him because I am not with music. I still know how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and When the Saints Go Marching On. That's about it. And Mary Had a Little Lamb. So I know how to play those, but I can't read music. I never knew how to read it besides what they taught me. Like, I forget what they taught me because obviously that was forever ago. But yeah, so long story long. October is a very eventful month for me. It's a month that I just is nostalgic because like I said, becoming the PT, like getting my PT license on the same date that I end up having a child 2 years later on that date. That was, God just saying that was the date to be. That was a significant date in my life. But yeah, I'm looking forward to fall is my favorite season. So I'm looking forward to just the festivities. It's just so beautiful out with the leaves falling, just a change in season. I love this time of year. I love sweaters. I love boots. I just love like coziness. So this is my favorite time of year. I'm hoping to be more consistent though with these podcast episodes. I hope you all have been following me on my social media. I have an Instagram RBV, the Milestone Whisperers, and that's where the clips go up. And also RBV Physical Development, which is like my PT related page. That my clips also go up there, so I collaborate them that way. So that way it's on both Instagram pages. I have a TikTok, I have a YouTube that I'm trying to grow, Facebook, because you know I'm a Generation Xer, so Facebook is still really popular amongst my age group. So yeah, I hope you all are checking me out. I look forward to sharing more things for this fall, more updates about my journey with perimenopause, which is something. More insights on my osteoarthritis, my knee. Woo. I've been trying to rehab my knee a little bit because it's been painful. Sometimes more than others, but yeah. But this season is all about just connecting with your families, connecting with yourself, self-care first and primary, but then, you know, branching out to connecting with your family and, excuse me, I'm sorry, excuse me, and, you know, just getting ready for the holidays. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I love Thanksgiving. And yeah, Christmas time, getting ready for the new year. I love that. So I look forward to sharing more. Follow me on social media, leave comments, share, subscribe, all that. I appreciate the support and I appreciate you listening. And have a good one. Bye.